I'm one of the co-founders of The Hood Collective, a cannabis marketing company based in Portland, Oregon. And today we're going to be looking at the #1 mistake in cannabis packaging design. So I just wanted to hop on here real quick and just talk about something. It's almost like a pet peeve of mine. It's just something I'm seeing again and again when it comes to packaging design in the cannabis industry. I'm sure it's happening in other industries as well, but especially in cannabis, because a lot of people are new to marketing and branding, and so they aren't realizing this really crucial mistake that when you're coming up with your design, you're not thinking about it, and you're not thinking about how it's going to impact your brand down the road. And what I'm talking about is creating a package for your cannabis pre-rolls, your cannabis flower, your cannabis whatever product that not only is going to look good on the shelves, but is going to photograph well. This is really crucial. And so you may have a package that like it just looks so good on the shelf, and you never for a second thought like, oh, what's gonna happen when we take pictures of it? Well, that's the first thing I think about. When I see a package and it's going to be hard to photograph, I'm like, oh no. And I'll give you some examples of the type of packaging that's really hard to deal with. #1, shiny reflective surfaces. They are a nightmare when it comes to photography, because any angle where you're shining light onto them, and you're going to need professional lighting to photograph your products, it's just going to be bouncing off. And if it's really reflective, you may even be seeing the camera reflecting in it, the photographer, you standing nearby watching your product get photographed. If it, like, I've seen a lot of like just the shiny chrome metal tins, for example, that you would keep some joints, some pre-rolls in. Avoid that at all costs. If you're going to use a tin, make sure the color is not reflective. You go with a darker color, a muted color, and so that your lights are not going to be reflecting off of it. Another type of packaging that is really hard to deal with when it comes to photography is those flimsy plastic bags, not even necessarily the bigger bags. Those aren't so bad. It's like the smaller ones that you might see like hanging on one of those metal rods in the dispensary. Not only do they, like, you can't stand them up, but they crinkle, and they're like, you have your edible inside, for example. I see a lot of these with edibles, and so the pack is flat when there's nothing in it, but when you put your product in it, it then is expanded, and it's crinkly and it's wrinkled, and you can't flatten it out because you would be smashing your product inside, and it's very hard to photograph because you can't stand it up, or it's going to be crooked, and it's got all these surfaces that are going to be reflecting the light, and it's going to look bad. I encourage you to find a packaging solution that's not going to have that problem. There are some plastic bags, like the bigger ones, where you can stand them on the ground. You pick a color that, again, is not reflective, a non-reflective color, and something that's going to, not crinkle very easily. So those are just two examples, but there's endless ways that you could go wrong, and if you just take the time when you're designing your packaging to think about how's it going to look, not just in the dispensary, but also on the shelf. And this is like really the most crucial stage of your product development. It's not the product itself, it's the packaging, because if the packaging is bad, if the branding is bad, no one's going to buy it. And it doesn't matter how great your product is, if they don't like the brand, if they, not only will the dispensary not carry it or be less likely to carry it, your potential customers will just go right past your product to the, oh, look at that, that looks cool, right? That's the impulse people make when they're buying your package. And when you're trying to promote it, you're trying to, let people know about it, whether it's in magazine ads, on your social media, on your website, when it's being displayed on a, Leafly, and they're going through all the different products, and they come to your photograph. It's always a photograph, right, that they're going to see first. And if it's lousy, if it's not as good as your competitors, then they're just going to keep going past yours and go to the next one. So I can't emphasize enough how important it is when you're in the design process to come up with a package and a brand that is going to look good in all the different ways you intend to market it. So if you have any questions about cannabis packaging design, feel free to reach out to me. My email is right here. It's doc@hoodcollective.com. I would love to talk to you about your design needs, and thanks for watching the video. Please go ahead and give us a like and subscribe to our channel for more content. I will see you guys next time.